Welcome to today's deep dive. We have a really fantastic stack of sources curated just for you today.
Yeah, lots of foraging guides, scientific databases, mycological articles.
It's a great stack. And our mission today is exploring um, Chroogomphus rutilus.
The copper spike mushroom.
Right, the copper spike. It's going to be a journey into evolutionary trickery, transatlantic identity crises, and a bit of culinary magic.
It's a fascinating species. It really proves just how much is happening, unseen right under the surface of the forest floor.
Absolutely, because looking at the sources, I noticed something wild. If you spot a copper spike, you see this slimy,
Coppery cap.
yeah, this reddish-coppery cap with deep smoky orange gills running down the stem. But the molecular data firmly groups it within the bulltails order.
Which is a complete curveball.
I mean, how does a gilled mushroom end up in a clade that is literally famous for having spongy pores?
It's a fantastic example of convergent evolution. The copper spike didn't just retain gills from an ancient ancestor.
It independently evolved them.
Exactly. Over time, it evolved gills from a pore-bearing lineage. So it's essentially an evolutionary imposter wearing a gilled disguise.
That explains why they look so distinct from their genetic relatives. Now, moving on to where they grow, you most exclusively find these near pine trees.
You do.
And initially, the older literature frames them as these standard, friendly, ectomycorrhizal partners with the pines.
Right, like they're helping the trees.
But the newer research points to something completely different.
It really does. The data reveals they're actually highly species-specific parasites. They aren't partnering with the trees at all.
Wow.
Yeah. Instead, their hyphae actively infiltrate and feed off the mycelium of other fungi in the soil.
Like root truffles, right?
Root truffles and ectomycorrhizal boletes like Suillus.
So they are essentially hijacking the network.
Precisely.
They just let the boletes do all the heavy lifting of trading nutrients with the pine tree, and then they just tap directly into that supply line.
They're secondary consumers in a system where we usually expect cooperative symbiosis. It's brilliant, really.
It's wild. And the taxonomy gets even more complicated when you look at the geographic data. There's this sort of transatlantic double life going on.
A total identity crisis.
Right, because the original European Chroogomphus rutilus and the North American copper spike were considered the exact same species for decades.
Right up until recent genetic sequencing forced a complete split.
So the North American population is entirely distinct genetically.
Yes, which prompted the official renaming to Chroogomphus ochraceus.
But what's frustrating for foragers is that you cannot tell them apart morphologically.
Not with the naked eye.
I was reading the identification keys, and it seems the only morphological difference lies in the microscopic thickness of their cell walls.
The hymenial cystidia.
Sure.
It really highlights the limits of visual identification.
Right.
We rely so heavily on macroscopic features, but a mushroom can look identical across two continents while being genetically divergent underneath.
Speaking of field guides, the culinary notes on the copper spike are fascinating for the inner chef in you.
Oh, they undergo a crazy transformation when you cook them.
They turn a vibrant violet brown in the pan.
They do.
Now,
And the flavor profile shifts, too. It develops a sweet, almost perfumed quality reminiscent of wood blewits.
and it has a firm, kind of crunchy, rubbery texture,
Which actually makes it a surprisingly good meat substitute in robust dishes.
like a spicy Thai curry.
Exactly, but I have to ground this excitement with a critical safety warning.
Oh, right. The lookalikes.
Foraging requires 100% certainty. Always. The copper spike shares its conifer habitat with some highly toxic species.
Like the deadly webcap.
Yes, Cortinarius rubellus. It shares that same forest floor and a very similar orange-brown palette. Mixing up an imposter bolete with a deadly webcap is a mistake you only make once.
So confirming those identification markers under the cap is non-negotiable.
Absolutely non-negotiable.
So synthesizing everything we've covered today, what's the main takeaway for you listening?
I think it's a powerful reminder of the hidden depths in fungal ecology. What looks like a simple, unassuming gilled mushroom on your hike is secretly a genetically divergent, poreless bolete.
And a stealthy parasite infiltrating the root network.
Exactly. The natural world is layered with unseen complexity.
It makes you look at a simple pine forest entirely differently. And we want to leave you with a final thought to mull over today.
Something to think about on your next hike.
If the copper spike is secretly parasitizing the very fungi that help sustain those pine trees, is it a villain harming the forest?
Or is it just another vital, hidden regulator keeping the woodland food web perfectly balanced?
Keep questioning what you see.